with that down, we are going to move on to our third and final main topic today, which is just more grief. Because this morning when I went on to Twitter to look around for our topics today, I ran into the fact that our buddy, our pal, our Batman, Kevin Conroy, has passed away. And this is really too bad, man. He was only 66 years old. And honestly, Shane, in this world that we live in, I want to say that's young, man. Like I mean, I'm sure he lived a full life. He's Kevin Conroy. But man, in a world that I feel like by the time we start getting to die, that, you know, I believe it's like 74 is the average age for a male in the United States. But for someone in his position, with the money he has in the world he lives in, around surgeon friends and everyone that knows everyone and stuff, people live a lot longer. Mm-hmm. They tend to than 66. And so to us, it may seem like a lot, but to people in Hollywood, they usually live beyond ages 66 because they have, like I said, they have access to really good care, way better stuff than we have access to. But at the end of the day, what killed Kevin Conroy was something that has killed thousands and millions of people that there is no cure for, and that's cancer. And it's too bad. Just like Chadwick Boseman, actually, he fought in silence. We didn't know about Kevin Conroy having cancer, and yeah, it just shows you how strong of a guy he was too, because he didn't want us to feel the pain too that he was feeling, and he didn't want to hear us, you know, saying all these things to him, because he was probably still trying to deal with the fact that it was happening and, you know, come to terms with those things. And the last thing he wanted us doing was telling him how great he was and how much we loved him and we need him and all these things. So I'm glad he was able to be such a big part of my childhood. Shane, we say it often all the time that the Batman animated series, and I think we can still say this confidently, is the greatest version of Batman that's ever existed, right?
Absolutely.
And Kevin Conroy was that. And counter to him was our also getting old buddy, Mark Hamill, right? Mm-hmm. Who played the Joker. And Mark Hamill went on Twitter today, who is obviously close friends with Kevin Conroy, and had a lot to say. You know, he called him perfection. He called him one of the greatest human beings to ever live. And you know, I don't obviously have any personal relationship with Kevin Conroy, but he did, and I believe it. I believe Kevin Conroy was one of the greatest human beings to ever live. And like I was telling you, Shane, he was just recently in the CW series. They brought him back, and then there was rumors that he is going to, and now we definitely hope so, yeah, right?
Still could.
That he may be in the Flashpoint movie. Maybe at some point it goes animated and Flash has to team up with, you know, Kevin Conroy's Batman. And nothing would be cooler than that, especially now. So yeah, sad day for all of us. Sad day for everyone close to him. Like I said, Mark Hamill, I'm sure he has a wife and children and family. And we all have them here in our hearts, and we're thinking about all of them. And yeah, and we know these kind of things suck, but at least we can be confident in knowing that he leaves behind a pantheon of brilliant, wonderful things for us to go back and check out over and over and over again. I own that Batman animated series on Blu-ray, and it's great. There's a lot of episodes in that thing, and I just roll it right into Batman Beyond. I feel like it's all tied in. But yeah, Shane, you're hearing this. I know you're a big Kevin Conroy fan, and you're a big Batman animated series fan. Tell me what you think, man.
Yeah, like you said, very, very tragic, and yeah, very young. You know, I'm at the age now, I'm 39, and so my parents are 74 and 75. So anytime someone passes that's younger than that, all I can think is they're too young, because I can't imagine losing my parents right now.
Exactly.
So, you know, if they're younger than my parents, like, that's a tragedy for that entire family that has to go through. But you're right, he touched so many people. The Batman animated series, you know, one of the when that came out, you know, 92, and then, like you said, into Batman Beyond, that was that golden age of Warner Brothers cartoon, second golden age. Obviously, the 40s Looney Tunes era would be the golden age, but that new upcoming golden age of Warner Brothers, because you had those two shows. You also had like Tiny Toons Adventures.
Yeah.
You had a lot of really good shows, and Batman was the crown jewel. I mean, that's what got people, at least like me, tuning in. It felt like something that was written for adults but could be watched for kids.
Yeah,
and as a kid, you really appreciate that. You're tired of people undermining you and not treating you like an adult.
I'm an adult, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was an amazing show, and I mean, even now, you just show me a picture of that square jawline, and I can hear Kevin Conroy's voice just coming out of it. Just that Batman and that Bruce Wayne was just so quintessential. And, honestly, I think it's I'm the Batman that just came out. I used to say Mask of the Phantasm was my favorite Batman film. It's probably this year's The Batman. But I would have to say, though, Kevin Conroy still has the best Batman voice.
Yeah, for sure.
I think everyone just botches the Batman voice.
Well, that's something that I didn't talk enough about in my take, which is, I mean, this dude, and that's what the topic says, are the, I'm sorry, not the topic, the headline today, which is iconic voice actor, because that's really what he was, right? This dude is probably a lot of other things outside of Batman
that we don't
even know about, because he is, that great, and he was such a predominantly, known as a voice actor, and so that's.
Well, I read today he was Juilliard trained, so I can imagine he can do anything and everything at that point, right? So. Very sad, especially, like I said, I was like 9, I think, when that show came out. So I was the perfect age. And, Batman was still seen as something kind of campy. Then you had the Batman movie, the Burton movie come out. And then you had this animated series come out. And that really drew me into the comics. I had to get more Batman. So, I mean, I got to thank the TV show for giving me a direction in life for quite a long time. And,
there was even talk when the Batman was in production of how they would do the suit, and I remember actually talking to you about this, and you were against it completely. But as fans, we wanted so bad for the white eyes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we wanted that white. I mean, I don't know why, but it's just so iconically Batman to us because of the animated series, right? And so we wanted that so bad, even though it makes no logical sense.
And you want to connect with a live action
for sure,
performer.
the person, right,
which comes through the eyes. So
of course.
But in animation, you're saving drawings. You're saving animator time. So it's always about scaling back as much as you can. And, that was one of the first TV shows to bring in some CG mixed with 2D, 3D and 2D. You had like the Batmobile was 3D rendered. And, that was really cutting edge for the time. You didn't see a lot of 3D and animated shows, and, they were blending it in almost every episode. And
right. Yeah, I just remember as a kid, like feeling like I learned something every time I watched that show too. And I feel like that, especially as a kid, as weird as it may sound, like as a kid, we crave to know more and to learn more, whether we realize it or not. And so I always found that the things that taught me lessons were something more that I wanted to watch. That's why things like G.I. Joe were popular, the more you know, right? Like as kids, we just wanted to know more. And plus, the debate has always been now since Kevin Conroy's Batman, which has gone on and on even till today with the current Batman, which is, does Batman use guns and does Batman kill and these kind of things. And that's why part of the reason too, I think that that animated Batman, Kevin Conroy's Batman, is the greatest ever, because he was like Superman Batman, right? He was pure-hearted. He was all good.
And he used his mind most of the time.
Yes, for sure. Exactly. He wasn't using guns. He wasn't killing people. He was exactly what you wanted your hero to be.
Yeah, in fact, in the Batman Begins, Nolan's Batman kills Ra's al Ghul, or lets him die, right?
Right.
In the animated, Kevin Conroy carries Ra's back to the labyrinth pit and saves his life.
Heals
you know,
right,
it's completely different Batman.
Exactly. And I think that,
more inspiring Batman, I think.
For
too.
Sure. Exactly. Especially, like I said, to young minds, too. And I think that it just proves how much this version of Batman meant to us all. All these years later, we're still debating, whether our Batman should kill or should use guns. I mean, Batman in the comics kills all the time, and we don't have that debate. But because of this series, we're like, well, but should he? Because the real Batman is this Batman, right? And that's how we all kind of feel. And it's too bad. Like I said, we all have heavy hearts today. I don't know of anything else, honestly, personally, that I know him from. Do you?
I mean, I could look up some stuff, but nothing off the top of my head. I mean, it's the Batman, right?
For sure. And there was also the debate for years too, Shane, that that fans wanted him to play Batman. Like when Nolan was casting and when all these things were casting, they were like, oh, Kevin Conroy. And there was always even some push for Mark Hamill as Joker. And I think that when it could have been brilliant in the right way.
You know, his voice is great, but you never know for sure. Mark Hamill was he played the Trickster, I think is the villain's name, in the Flash TV show in the 90s.
Okay.
And that TV show was pretty campy. It was okay. But Mark Hamill was so good. And when I saw him perform that, I was just like, he could live action Joker without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's awesome, man. But so there was always those talks because, again, people loved Kevin Conroy. So I imagine if I was his family and he was my father or my grandfather, on his gravestone would only just say in quotes, I'm Batman. That's it. Because, again, he's Batman to us, and I think he always will be.
At least in terms of film, just looking over his IMDb, I mean, it's a few handful of roles where he wasn't Batman or Bruce Wayne or Thomas Wayne or even Alfred, something that's not Batman connected.
Right.
But once you get into the TV, you could tell he was a struggling actor early on. A lot of single episodes, Dynasty, Matlock. You can tell he was gigging. So it wasn't really until Batman that became his bread and butter. And then after that, it looks like everything he did just about was Batman related.
Like I said, on that tombstone, I'm Batman. But guys, you're hearing this information, this news. Kevin Conroy, longtime voice of Batman, he's dead. He's passed away, 66 years old. Like I said, we all have heavy hearts, and we are here praying for his family, his friends, and his loved ones, and all the people that are going through the grieving process because their father or grandpa or whoever is no longer with them. And we feel for everyone. That stuff sucks, and nobody wants to go through it. But guys, let us know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this. I know a lot of you guys love that Batman animated series like we do, or the Mask of Phantasm movie, and most of us know Kevin Conroy from this way. So what are you guys' thoughts? How do you guys feel about all this? And hopefully we see him in that Flashpoint movie, right? But definitely let us know your thoughts down below.